Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to your Rangers review. It is your team news reaction video live from the National Stadium here at Hampden. The teams have not long dropped, and to discuss Rangers starting 11, Stevie Clifford joins us. How's it going, first of all, Stevie?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right, yeah. You were a bit late today, weren't you?
Well,
bit of a nightmare journey for you. I've been here chilling for a while. But...
I was a bit late, and I'm going to have a rant before we start talking all things Rangers. The train network in this country is an absolute joke. So my first train was cancelled this morning. I should have been here about 12:30. Got the next train, which was delayed at Preston because we had no train manager. So we had to wait on the train manager getting out his pit and heading along to the train station. But I am here now. But yeah, Avanti West Coast and all that jazz. Do better is what I say. But we're here now. Good things come to those who wait. And
no manager here either. So. And I mean Joshua. I don't mean Philippe, but I mean Philippe later if it goes wrong.
Yeah, let's hope he's celebrating another League Cup triumph this afternoon. Right, let's talk about the Rangers 11. This is how Rangers will start this League Cup final. Butland in goal. James Tavernier starts at right back. Leon Balogun and Robin Cropper at the heart of the defence. John Souttar does not make it. Jeffrey on the left-hand side. A midfield duo of Nico Raskin and Mohamed Diamandi. Yanis Hadji comes back into the starting 11. Václav Černý and Nadim Bayrami either side of Hamza Igaman. On the bench for Rangers, Kelly, Ridvan, Barron, Dessers, Dowell, Sterling, King, McCausland and Danilo. Stevie, your initial thoughts on that lineup?
There's a big opportunity. I think for one or two of them, I'm surprised. Like honestly, I'm surprised by a couple of decisions in there. I don't think I've ever picked a team in my head that's been the same as the one that Philip Clement's went on to pick. If you're absolutely honest, James Tavernier's had a really good run the last 5 or 6 games, but in this game against Maeda, I'm not sure any of us feel that confident. Robin Cropper at centre half, and unless we convince him it's Thursday night and it's Celtic Vigo we're playing, I'm not sure about his performances. I think Ridvan's really unlucky not to be in the team ahead of Bayrami. I think Bayrami is lucky to be in. Good to see Hadji in. Hadji's created, and I'm not, and you know, and I've said it, and I'm not going to reverse things. I'm not sure that Hadji's really where we need to be in terms of the quality in there, but he's where we need to be at this moment in time. So I'm glad he's in. I'm glad he's a 10. Big game for him. He'll shoot. He'll create chances. You know, we will get chances, by the way, today. But it's what happens at the other end that's a big concern. So, I don't know, Derek. I mean, I don't agree with that. But, you know, we just got to get behind them. It's a really big day for us. We beat them one time in 16. And it's not good enough. And Philip Clement is not winning any in 5. This is his 6th game today. And they've deserved the praise they've had recently. Good win over Nice, great performance the other night, and they've deserved it. So the biggest thing today is, you know, carrying that on. And wouldn't have been my selection. I don't know about you. What do you think?
Well, Souttar is, of course, the obvious one.
And there's no update. No. We don't know about these rumours and things like that. So
yeah. As James Skeen mentions there, biggest miss is Souttar. Yeah, I tend to agree. It's a huge match for Robin Cropper. Leon Balogun, we expected to start this game. Right back, let's talk about it. I was expecting Dujon Sterling to come in.
Sure.
James Tavernier, now, he deserves praise for the way he's played in the last few games. I thought he was good on Thursday night. However, like you said, I think it's in his head with Dyson Maeda, and I fully expect Celtic to exploit and try and put him under pressure from the off. He has to have a proper game today, hasn't he, James Tavernier? We cannot have him coming second best against Dyson Maeda.
No, and he will be targeted, like you say. So the biggest thing about Hampden is it's a really big pitch.
Yeah.
So if he engages with Maeda, you know, high up and there's plenty of room behind him, which he will do, then, you know, you're relying on Leon Balogun's recovery pace in behind him because Tavernier won't get out. So,
I'm not seeing much support for Tav in the comments.
Do you know what? Like, I think he's been great. Right?
Yep.
The last 4 or 5 games, I think he deserves a lot of credit. He's been affecting the games, and I was critical because he wasn't getting the back post. He started to get to the back post again. He's been critical, and I was winning games and stuff like that. And he's getting assists, and it's like him. But if this happens again, we're all going to go, why are you making the same mistake?
Yeah.
You know, it's a difficult one, you know, but what happens if he goes and assists at the other end, or he goes and strikes one at the other end? And, you know what I mean?
As Blue Nose John says here, he is starting to contribute in an attacking sense.
Yeah, he is, and that's the point I was making. But would I have started him today? I'm not sure. Would I have brought him on, maybe? You know what I mean? And Andrew's right, I think. Tav, you know, he could win us a game, but he could also lose it at the very same. Do you know what's vital for us today, Derek? And this is the truth. We have to score first. And
Absolutely.
if we don't score first, you cannot concede and then concede. Because we've been doing that. We more or less concede and then concede within 10 minutes against them. And we need to keep it tight.
Yeah.
At the very least, you need to stick in the game.
Yeah.
And I don't like saying that. But the truth is that that's maybe the way it kind of is at the moment in time. So, you know, they're going to come at us. They'll pressure us. They'll try and you know,
we know what they're going to do.
Push us in, and they do have good players. You know, Kyogo, Kuhn, Maeda up front is a pile of danger.
Yeah.
Midfield, Bernardo, Hatate, McGregor. They can all shoot. They can all drive on. So let's be realistic in terms of that's really strong. So we need to be right with our press, and it was on Thursday. We need to be right with our tackling. We need to be right with everything that we do, and then hope that we can catch them. But we'll get chances, and we need to take them.
Yep.
So even and I said this the other day, even in the game where they scalped us at Parkhead, we started off well enough, and Matondo had a header that went wide. Dessers had his usual couple of chances that he maybe could have converted. One of them maybe offside, but at the same time, you put these in, you never know what happens with VAR and things like that. So we will get chances. It's about having the ability to stand up at the other side. Does Robin Proper have the domestic physicality to cope with a game like today? Can James Tavernier stand up to Dyson Maeda? Can Diamande and Raskin press and control the game? Now, they're very good at winning balls. They're very good at passing and stuff like that. Can they dictate that midfield? Can Hadji find the pockets of space? Can Eagleman live up to his hype and his promise? Because it's a lot for a young guy against Cameron Carton-Vickers and the other big guy they've got in the back, whose name I don't quite remember. Who's the other?
Boston Trusty.
Trusty, right? So they're big guys, right? So Eagleman's a big boy as well, and he's got good chest control and everything else, and we understand that. But can he perform? Can Bayrami then come in from the left? There's a lot more questions about our team than there is about theirs, unfortunately. But, Derek, here's the caveat of everything else. If they win today, it changes the landscape of everything.
Oh, it's huge. Huge.
It's a redemption arc and a turning point for the manager. It is a turning point for the players, because if we win this game, we're going to have a hero somewhere. You know what I mean? And the growth from that then is huge. The other way, if they don't and the selection comes back to bite them, we're all sitting going, well, you've won games we expected you to win the last couple of games, but then when it comes to it, you've done it again. Yeah. And that's what the support's like. You know it. No. It can go from being really happy the way we are at the moment to ultra critical. But the good thing is we are at least going in with a wee bit of form. There'll be some confidence there. I want to see Czerny. I thought Czerny was good the other night. Right, I really did. I thought he was good against Tottenham. I thought he carried the ball really well. I thought he was a threat. And yes, he didn't have the final ball. There was a couple of moments where I want to see Czerny shooting today. I want to see him cutting in. I want to see him driving as much as he can. And I think he's a real threat. I think our biggest threat today is Czerny.
Yep, I wouldn't disagree with that. I think Amza Ingman, I'm really excited about seeing what he can do today as well. Just to give you that Celtic team, folks, they line up at a 4-3-3 as expected. Schmeichel in goal. Do that for all of it. Alistair Johnston makes it at right back. Carter Vickers, Trusty and Greg Taylor make up the back four. Paulo Bernardo, McGregor and Hatate in the middle. Kuhn, Maeda and Kyogo lead the line for Celtic this afternoon. So that is how Celtic shape up. I wanted to talk about the midfield, Stevie, because there's a few comments coming in, and I think midfield is huge in this game. Nico Raskin is playing out of skin at the moment in time. I think that the Diamande-Raskin partnership is something I can get on board with. Thought they were good, both of them. Thought that was maybe Mohamed Diamande's best game in the Rangers jersey on Thursday. Didn't look out of place at all. And with Hadji just in front of those two, I think in terms of industry and endeavour, if those two can get the better of the Celtic midfield, it'll certainly bode well, and Rangers have got a much better chance of lifting that trophy if they can come out on top today.
Yes, but they've got to control it. That's my biggest thing with them. I think they can win the ball. I think they can press. I think they can harass. And I think they can do all the running that we need. And I'm confident in that. Diamandi needs to avoid a silly foul. He does it all the time. Midweek handball. Early booking in the Scottish Cup last year, I think, as well. And it left them. So we need to be careful about what we're doing. But they too can set the tempo, But when we get the ball, we have to use it. Jeffy in midweek, Raskin in midweek, Tavernier in midweek. We're all guilty. I think 4 chances Tottenham, or 4 transitional positions Tottenham got themselves in from, came from us. Jeffy twice got back, and I think Jeffy got back for Raskin's one as well. So we need to watch that. We need to be on the ball. If we're going to lose the ball, which we will, because you can't keep the ball for 90 minutes. But if we're going to lose the ball, you need to make sure you do it in places that aren't going to hurt us. We lost the ball on Thursday night in places where Celtic can hurt us. One of the positions we lost the ball in, I think it was Raskin, was the exact same as the Scottish Cup final loss, where we lost the ball and they drove straight from the midfield and scored from it. We need to make sure we don't do that. If they're going to score, we need to make sure that they've worked for it. Don't hand them it, because we do it all the time. That 3-0 game, we handed them the goals. So let's make sure that anything that we do today, we make them work for it and carry ourselves. We shouldn't be playing with fear. You've went and matched Tottenham on Thursday night, right? And this is a Tottenham team. Respectfully, what, 600 odd million to put them together? Get into them, go and take it to them. Keep your heads, play your game. Time for a few to turn up. Hadji, Bayrami, let's see, let's get it. So, what's the worst that can happen, Derek? If they turn up and have a go at them, if they sit back, they're going to get beat, right? They'll come on to us and they'll pen us in and we'll get beat. If you go and have a shot and have a go, potentially you've got more of an opportunity. Bruges went to Parkhead and went 1-for-1 and went physical with them. And I agreed with what Johnny said on the show the other day. And I think Johnny makes a really good point. The 50-50s, winning those are really important, but being aggressive in the right areas at the right times, winning your ones and ones and using the opportunity. We can break well. We're quite good at breaking and we know what we're doing there. And it will be a similar game to Thursday night, albeit Celtic are maybe a wee bit more clinical than Tottenham were the other night. So let's see how it goes. But it's a big day in terms of so many individuals in that team. As I said, Tab, Proper, Diamandi, Hadji, Bayrami. Is Raskin's form a flash in the pan? Can he really control a game like today? That's what we need. Can he do it? These are the things that we'll find out soon.
I really hope he does. Fletch, just on how Rangers approach this game, agrees with you, Stevie. Says press from the start, get in their faces, don't press, and then pap it when they come forward once. If we go like that we did against Tottenham, we have a real chance.
That's what I was trying to say about, I didn't say that kind of phrase, pap it.
I get what you mean.
In terms of being robust enough to know that if we have a good 10-minute spell at the start and don't take the lead, and then they come at us, to be robust enough just to say physically and things like that, we're all right, we'll play and then go from there. At previous games, we've collapsed too much. Ibrox 3-3 game, first half we let them dominate us. Second half with a real goal, we scored 3 times. And we don't celebrate draws, and we understand that. But as a reference point of what's possible in terms of how they play and how they set up and things like that, 3 goals, in the second half is worth referencing, Derek, in terms of what is capable if you go and take it to them. If you sit back, the first half in that game is comparable as well, because you're 2-0 down at half time and you're all over the place. So for me, there's only one option today, and that's they try and play without fear and they try and take it to them as much as possible.
What do you make of this comment that's came in? We'll talk about the left-hand side. I never had Bayrami in my predicted lineup. Jam says Bayrami is a concern for me. He's a bit off the boil, it's fair to say, Stevie. I don't like him out there on the left-hand side. I know he can play out there, but he's predominantly a number 10. I can understand why Hadji will play in that role. We may see them sort of interchanging today, but I would have liked to have seen the Ridvan Jefty partnership again down that left-hand side, or even some have said, why didn't Clement go Igaman on the left, Danilo up top? How big a day is it for Bayrami? Are you surprised to see him starting on the left?
Yeah, I think he's very fortunate to start. I think Ridvan, the only reason he doesn't start is because of fitness. That's the only thing. I thought he was a really good ball carrier the other night. I thought that he maybe doesn't offer as much up front, clinical wise, as Bayrami, but Bayrami needs to get back and help Jeffy. He'll need to watch the running from Greg Taylor. Sorry, it's not Greg Taylor, it'll be Alistair Johnson on his side.
Yeah.
Can he potentially cut in and maybe exploit Alistair Johnson a wee bit, possibly? But it's a big day for Bayrami. You know, £4 million for us may as well be 30. You know, we don't have £4 million, and if we're spending £4 million on a guy like that, he has to affect in a game like this. So,
what do you make of this point from John, who says, who's defending the left-hand side? Bayrami doesn't track back and Jeffy can
defend. Jeffy's issue isn't defending for me. Personally, John, in my opinion, doesn't mean this is right. My issue with Jeffy is his ball retention.
Yeah.
He makes mistakes when he's on the ball. I think he can defend. I think he can get back. I think he can defend. Not every single fullback can be flawless and doesn't get caught out at the back post or whatever else. So I get it. Like, I understand. But defensively, one-on-one, recovery defending and stuff, I think he's okay, Jeffy. My issue with him is on the ball. Seen it during the week. He tries things, which is nice to see. But sometimes in games like today, you have to be certain of the passes you're making. So it is, on the left-hand side, a big day for Jeffy as well. But Jeffy's earned his place. He's been, he has been consistent enough, Derek, in my opinion, that we should be all right
with him.
Bayrami's the question for me.
Yeah.
So.
We'll wrap up. Igaman, I love this guy already, Stevie. He's one of these guys that I've said it many times before. He just looks like he loves playing football. There's a freedom with regards to him, and a big game for him today. I think he is someone that can cause this Celtic defence a few problems. I thought he was excellent on Thursday night. Can he be a big player for Rangers today?
I hope so. There's a lot of hype, isn't there? And quite rightly, you know, he's come in and I wouldn't say he's revolutionised. He's got a tendency to go left, which I find in a game like today when we need a presence in the middle. I just want to make sure that he's in the middle as much as possible because he's got the pace and the presence. That was a good finish the other night, by the way. I don't think it was as easy.
Placed in the corner.
Yeah, I don't think it was as easy as people make out. It was a good run. It's a great finish. I don't think you have to worry too much about, you know, his temperament, hopefully. You know, and I think he's a young lad, right? And when he came in against Dundee United, and you seen him controlling the through ball, and that was like, oh, I want to see much more of him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I realise he's a young boy and we need to be patient. There's been a game or two where he started maybe Hibs and things where he hasn't played the way we'd like him to do.
Yeah.
And this is probably as tough a test as you're going to get so far for him. Probably even tougher than Thursday in terms of the centre-back pairing of Vickers and Trusty are going to be solid. They'll not give him any space, but there's also a mistake in there. So he needs to keep at it persistently, even if he's not winning it, Derek, even if he's not getting his touches, even if he's not getting his opportunities, he needs to keep sticking at it because he will get one. And when he gets one, he has to take it. So I think the thing is as well, and this might be a psychological thing for the rest of the team, if they're looking and seeing Hamza Gaman up front, then I think there's a degree of confidence there.
Yeah.
And they're seeing seeing somebody
for a start.
Yeah, they're seeing somebody that can produce.
Yeah.
So I don't worry too much about that. And there's a comment there about stop the young boy stuff. He's 22. This is his first full season in football.
Yeah.
Right? His first full season. So with respect, you know, he's a young boy in terms of experience and what he's doing. He's 22, fine, absolutely great. But in terms of football experience and his performances and being at this level for any length of time, then I think we've got to acknowledge that. That's my point on that.
Friend Shona gets in touch. He says, could we see Bayrami and Hadji rotate positions today? I think they will want our attack to come down the left as Igaman tends to go wide, leaving the space for Czerny. I did touch on that. I think I wouldn't be surprised to see that today. Hadji's a big player for me. I'm really pleased that he's starting the game. He's not really turned up, and just trying to think back Old Firm games that he has played in, Stevie Yanis Hadji, and you need to go back way back when he played. I think the 55 season he featured, but it's a big day for him today. I think since he was reintegrated back into the squad, he's been a big player for Rangers, and I think he could be a potential match winner today.
Yeah, can I just ask for Shona just before we start? We're all thinking about you, so hope you're good. In terms of the point, yeah, I think she's right. I think they could float about a wee bit. Tierney getting into space and cutting in is what I said before. So I hope that is true. In terms of Hadji and Old Firms, I can only think, and this might even be wrong, that he started the 1-0 victory at Ibrox when McGregor scored his kind of own goal.
Yeah.
I think
the no shots on target game.
Yeah, I think he started then. I would need to check, and that's only off the top of my head. So I would need to go back and look at that. People will tell me in the comments, Stevie, you're wrong again, and that's probably right. But it is a big day for Hadji. Now, Yanis Hadji, for me, is somebody that's got all the talent in the world, but I think is underperformed. I think in the last few weeks, he's got up there, and I'm glad that he's in today because he will create. I think he creates something like 2.3 chances per game, and I think he will give them an opportunity in there. So he's capable of shooting.
I know.
Hadji's capable of magic.
Exactly.
Like, he's capable. So you've just got to hope. Of course I want him to do well. You know what I mean? Of course I want him to succeed. So fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed. I think we can talk about, as much as you can talk about Hadji, you can talk about Bayrami, you can talk about Eagleman, you can talk about Tierney, you can talk about Jeffy, you can talk about all of them having in our minds the ability to do well. It's whether or not we can actually go and do it and implement it. That's what we want.
Yeah, I've got a good feeling about today. I fancy Rangers to edge this one. I think it will be close, but it's huge for the manager more than anything else. He has to get that hoodoo off his back, and if he can win his first Old Firm match and retain this trophy, then, like you said at the start, Stevie, it can just change it. It can just change the narrative of the whole campaign. But that team again, folks: Butland, Tavernier, Balogun, Propper, Jefty, Raskin, Diamande, Hadji, Cherny, Bayrami, and Igaman. On the bench, Kelly, Ridvan, Barron, Dessers, Dowell, Sterling, King, McCausland, and Danilo. Right, we'll wrap up there. Big thank you to you all for tuning in to the show as ever. It's much appreciated. We will be back on full time. Of course, there'll be ceremonies taking place. So after all that jazz, then we will be back, hopefully, reporting on a glorious day here at Hampden as far as Rangers are concerned. I was saying when we were walking up from the car park, when was the last time we were here? I missed the Scottish Cup final against Hearts because my flight back from Seville was cancelled, so I missed the game. But that was the last time I think I missed the cup final, League Cup final last season against Aberdeen. But absolutely, games like today against Celtic, we've not seen enough of Rangers victories, have we?
No, absolutely not. And listen, I think we're all a bit long-suffering, especially on this show, that we need a wee bit of good news. I think people have forgot what it's like to see happy Stevie. So,
John says, hopefully it's champagne you're drinking.
I am teetotal, John, but absolutely something.
Go down the Ian Ferguson approach, the only drinking you in.
Yeah, that's why I'm teetotal, because it's been so long. But I think that we're all due a good day today, and hopefully, Derek, I think Joshua says if we win, there might be an extended show after. So
there will be. Yeah,
you might see my wee shiny face later on as well. So fingers crossed. Yep. I hope everyone has a good day, genuinely, and I hope we get the result we need.
Yeah, so. I hope you all enjoy the game, folks, and we'll speak to you a little later on. Bye for now.